Hello, friends. Welcome to our bus tour. My name is Annalisa, and I will be serving as your tour guide today. I am so excited that you are joining me on our United Way virtual bus tour. Our tour today will be covering how United Way invests in Black-led ideas. We will begin at United Way of Greater Cincinnati, where we will chat with Moira Weir, our president and CEO. Then we will visit High Achievers Aim High and their youth entrepreneur program. On our way there, we will pass a variety of nonprofit organizations supported by United Way across Cincinnati and Hamilton County. Today, you'll learn how United Way supports a variety of Black-led ideas, programs, and projects through Black Empowerment Works, an equity-focused grant program under United Way's Black-led Social Change Initiative. Okay, group, before we get started, I want to have you all meet Moira. She is here and excited to welcome you on this tour. Hello, Moira. I have a group of friends that are joining us today on our bus tour.
Hi, Annalisa. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for stopping by and letting me speak, talk for a few minutes.
Well, we are so excited to be here and so glad you could join us. Could you please share with the group why it is so important for United Way to invest in Black-led ideas?
Yes, I would be happy to. Really, if you think about our rich history, United Way has more than 100-year history, and our vision and work has been focused on making sure that everyone in our region has the opportunity to thrive. And we do that in part by striving for equity. Every day, everything we do, we want to have a lens of equity. And particularly in the work that we do in our hallmark areas, our impact areas, if you think about quality education, basic needs, financial stability, and quality health, you really can't address equity without addressing these areas, and vice versa. They're so connected. So specifically, when we address inequity, it's really through our impact areas. And when we do that, we can actually really be more intentional and address and disrupt the cycle of poverty that impacts so many in our communities, particularly those that are in vulnerable parts of our community. And we want everybody in this community to have the equal access, and we want everyone to feel like they are included and have equity. But I will tell you a little bit about before I came to the United Way. I was working a job in family services, and I loved that work, but I felt like everything we did was really reactionary, and we were just addressing the systems. So what I'm so excited about being here at the United Way is we can really address poverty, and we can advocate for true, long-lasting systemic change, because that's really what we need to do, is how do we disrupt the current system and then make it fair and equitable. So I would say through my many years in social services, I know from working in the community that really for it to become equitable, we have to really think about two things are required. And I would say the first is you must disrupt, and I really mean that, disrupt the underlying system that becomes barriers for our neighbors to achieve true success. And then we really need to support these diverse nonprofit systems of care that can really uniquely meet the needs of all the individuals in our region. And I think that's really important because we really want to look at everybody individually. And some examples of how I think we are really applying those strategies every day with the lens of equity at our work at the United Way is, number one, if you notice through our response for the COVID Rapid Response Fund, we were very intentional to bring to the table faith-based organizations, because we know when people are scared, they go to those they trust, and that's generally through their faith-based community. We also want to be very specific and intentional with Black neighborhoods and making sure that they had the resources, and we spent time getting lots of input to make sure that everything we were doing, we're crafting programs to meet the community specific needs. And then in Northern Kentucky, we knew the digital divide was really hitting that area. So we worked with them to do the Digital Equity Students Initiative. And that's really, if you think about this, children in families with limited resources are already so vulnerable and falling behind in school. And this new challenge with this virtual school, we know it's putting them at greater risk. So we really have to be so aggressive about how we do this. So we're working with 5 counties, 16 school districts, more than 2,000 students. We want to connect them to Wi-Fi services so they can truly learn remotely and not fall behind, because that is just what's going to devastate all of us. And what I'm so excited about all of you for being here today is we're going to learn more about the Black Empowerment Works. This is a program at the United Way through the Black-led Social Change Initiative. It's an awesome program, and you're going to hear from some great colleagues who are doing great work with that. And really, before I kick it back to you, Annalisa, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here today. If you're a United Way donor, thank you. We couldn't do this without you. If you're a volunteer, huge thank you, because volunteers make it all happen. If you haven't joined us yet, I'm sure you're really considering about it. So we want to say thank you. And I will just say one more thing is the community needs you now more than ever. And I look at everything we're doing in terms of providing support for our community. It gives all of us hope. So, and really the best way for you to understand what's happening through United Way is I'm going to kick it back to you, Annalisa, and you're going to let them go on this virtual bus tour, which is always exciting.
Thank you so much, Moira, and thanks for all of your words. I could not agree with you more. We have a big undertaking here, but we are so excited to have you at the helm of what we're doing. All right, are you ready to go? Buckle up, stay in your seats. Don't forget about that 6 feet rule. Keep your arms inside of the moving vehicle at all times. And here we go.
Our Cincinnati tour starts at United Way in a unique Art Deco century-old building, formerly the home to Global Manufacturing Company and Ohio National Life Insurance. United Way joined the building in 1960 through a generous donation. In 2010, we led a capital campaign that resulted in the modern and community-oriented building that you're walking through now. As you see, the first 2 floors provide rentable space to nonprofit organizations and house the Fifth Third Convening Center, where thousands of hours of community convenings, celebrations, trainings, and workshops have been hosted over the last 10 years. United Way's building is just one of the resources we use to support a strong, nonprofit system of care for families across Greater Cincinnati and help innovate programs and systems as they adapt to our ever-changing community. Today, not only will we see the United Way building, but we will take a tour across Cincinnati and Hamilton County, which is just one of the communities that comprises our 10-county footprint. It's strangely quiet as employees are working from home amid the COVID-19 crisis. And this is the 4th floor, one of the 2 floors occupied by United Way, our talented workforce, and our key impact initiatives. Here's the office of Moira Weir, our CEO who joined United Way in March 2020 as COVID-19 was hitting our community. Oh look, here's 211 to the right. Did you know that a call specialist can be reached by phone 24/7, 365 days a year? We are the only comprehensive information and referral hotline for community members to call to access nonprofit resources. Basically in our backyard, here's Lighthouse Youth Services, an agency partner focused on addressing the needs of youth and young adults. And as we swing up Reading, you got a short glimpse of Anna Louise In-House to the left. Here still in Walnut Hills, we're going to pass a series of agency partner neighbors who work together to provide a continuum of housing services as part of the nonprofit system of care, from street outreach to emergency housing and longer supportive care. And those were Strategies to End Homelessness, Talbert House, and now Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health. Continuing on Reading, you're going to see Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio on your left, an important Black-led organization in Avondale. We're now in Bond Hill, the home of Cincinnati Hamilton Community Action Agency, well known for its quality early education classrooms at Head Start, employment programs, and basic needs services like utility assistance. Just 2 blocks over, we're coming up on a large building that houses Catholic Charities of Southwestern Ohio and Sioux Casa, Family Nurturing Center, and Pro Seniors. Each specializes in supporting the unique needs of populations, from immigrants, refugees, Hispanics, families with children, and older adults. As we move more central, we're going to pass Corinthian Baptist Church. They keep their fingers on the pulse and stay relevant to the needs of their neighbors. That's why United Way sees them as critical partners in strengthening our community. And now we're at 4C for Children, They help connect families to quality early education. Before entering downtown, we're going to stop in Clifton to visit Jewish Family Services, which has a kosher pantry service. Downtown, we're going to quickly pass by a handful of our partners: Free Store Food Bank, YMCA, and now YWCA, Cincinnati Works, and now we're at the Legal Building on 9th Street. This building houses legal aid and Women Helping Women. Lastly, we're going to finish our tour passing Salvation Army and Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services. As a result of new partnerships between United Way and JFS, nearly 4,000 local neighbors recently received more than $160,000 in grocery gift cards to help with the COVID-19 fallout.
Can you believe that's already been 5 minutes? Out of 78 United Way agency partners located in Hamilton County, we only got to see about 12 partners, and we only stopped into 7 neighborhoods of the many throughout the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County. And now we are at our destination, High Achievers Aim High. Oh, here's my colleague, Amy Weber, to greet our group. Amy, welcome to our virtual bus tour today. I'm here with a group of friends who are excited to learn more about our work. Can you explain why it's so important for United Way to support organizations like this youth program?
Hi group, as you just heard from Moira, we know that too many disparities exist across our community when you compare outcomes by socioeconomic status, location, gender, ability, or race, just to name a few. And United Way is intentionally focusing resources on traditionally marginalized populations who are often left out of critical systems that help people thrive. Specifically, across Greater Cincinnati, a Black family is more than 3 times more likely than a white family to be living below 100% of the federal poverty guidelines. One way we're addressing this income inequity is through our Black-led social change initiative. This initiative is focused on increasing the investment of time, talent, and treasure in community-based Black-led ideas that are addressing poverty. We believe that by investing in more Black-led ideas and strategies, we can diversify solutions and thought leadership in United Way's work, better understand the unique strengths, opportunities, and challenges within communities, and collaborate on strategies that reduce racial disparities in outcomes. Currently, there are 2 projects under the Black-led Social Change Initiative: Champions of Change and Black Empowerment Works, an equity grant-making effort that recently invested more than $600,000 into 29 Black-led ideas, projects, and organizations. And the best way for you to learn more about this is to hear directly from my colleague, Janae Bradley, and a few of her guests. Janae has been leading United Way's Black-led social change since its inception. Okay, let's mask up and we'll hear from Janae.
Black Empowerment Works promotes Black social and economic prosperity by providing resources and funding to community-based Black-led ideas. In essence, Black Empowerment Works is an equity-based grant and supports program. This program is the brainchild of a group of phenomenal volunteers who we refer to as the Champions of Change. They came together for a United Way program where they spent a year developing a grant program that really responded to the strengths and the needs of grassroots Black leaders in our community.
Hustle Academy stands for Helping Usher Students Towards Leadership and Entrepreneurship. Hustle Academy is an internship and an entrepreneurship program. Over the past few years, Black business ownership has increased exponentially in Cincinnati. And so being Black business owners ourselves, we saw that need for high school students to get a jump start who didn't want to enlist, employ, or enroll into school. So instead, we gave them the option to create some financial freedom in their lives. And so with that, we made Hustle Academy. Cincinnati Public Schools has the 3 E's that they have for their high schoolers. Their goal is to have everyone either employed, enlisted, or enrolled. And we know that that's not a traditional path that everyone wants to follow. And so we would like to be the 4th E, which is entrepreneurship.
At Mortar Cincinnati, we offer a 15-week entrepreneurship academy. that is culturally competent and is designed to help minority entrepreneurs reach their dreams of small business ownership. As part of the Hustle Academy, we have several of the teenagers placed with Mortar alumni. So that has been a really huge benefit to the program because as they're learning the Mortar curriculum, they're with someone who's familiar with the Mortar curriculum. It's also a really big bonus because they're with people who look like them. They're with businesses that are Black-led, Black-owned, and successful. So they're able to see themselves as a reflection of the entrepreneurs that they're with. And we understand the representation, especially for Black teenagers, is so important. And so we're really, really excited to give them the opportunity to expand their dreams. Thank you to United Way and to Black Empowerment Works for helping us to achieve our goals this summer.
Thank you so much, Janae and your guests, for sharing more. Group, I hope you found it really fascinating to learn more about this component of United Way's work and the impact that it's already making in our community. Did you know that business ownership has historically been a strong wealth builder for communities of color? The median net worth of Black and Latinx business owners is more than 10 times that of their peers who don't own businesses. Yet we know business owners of color face challenges in starting and growing their businesses that their white counterparts don't experience. And many of those are a direct result of ingrained and systemic inequity. That's why it's so important for United Way to partner with Black-led groups and community organizations to advance equitable solutions through programs, services, and ultimately systems change. And you're gonna get to see one of those partners right now and their solution, Hustle Academy. Okay, Annalisa is now going to take you on a tour of High Achievers Aim High. But I haven't seen Annalisa for a minute. Annalisa, where are you?
Sorry about that, Amy. I was just enjoying some delicious macaroni and cheese from Keystone. Who said you can't have mac and cheese for breakfast? Keystone was one of the first restaurants to join our program, The Way Forward. The Way Forward is United Way of Greater Cincinnati's program focused on supporting local restaurants and businesses recover from the effects of COVID-19 while also rewarding our donors. To learn more, visit uwgc.org/thewayforward. Okay, as Amy mentioned, we are now going to take a tour of High Achievers Aim High. But first, I want to share an opportunity for all of you to support our work here in the place where you all live and work. You must be thinking, how can I help? Well, here it is. Text The Way to 41444 and give now. Any gift is valuable and we will make sure to maximize its impact. Thank you so much in advance. Now it's time to see the program Hustle Academy in action. Take note at how the students share their own business ideas and build their skills as entrepreneurs.
Welcome to the High Achievers Aim High, a nonprofit aiming high to educate and motivate minority children so that they can receive equal opportunities. High Achievers Aim High is one of 29 Black-led projects funded by United Way's Black Empowerment Works, an equity-focused grant-making project. Today, we're going to see Hustle Academy, just one of the programs they offer. The Academy combines interactive training and internships for Cincinnati youth to explore entrepreneurship as a career option after high school. Class is already in session. Let's listen in.
I am founder and CEO of We Move For You. And the basics of my company will be come and to move all of your items from one location to another.
These young adults are nearly at the end of their academy experience and are practicing their business pitches today.
I offer 2 types of paint boxes. The first one comes with a pre-drawn out picture that allows you to
The entrepreneurship curriculum is facilitated by our partner organization, Mortar. The Mortar curriculum guides these aspiring entrepreneurs to build a comprehensive business canvas and learn the nuances of business management. Youth receive feedback and coaching along their journey. Here's some now.
It's something that's so sensitive to all of us, for real.
I liked your eye contact and how you brought us in when you was
Along the
talking.
way, the students practice critical tools to help them become masters of their businesses. It is important to note that the curriculum was specifically designed to speak to minority, predominantly African American audiences, taking into consideration the language, examples, and reference points used throughout. We're now seeing the internship component. It allows students to experience what it really means to be a small business owner, not to mention benefit financially from their hard work. This academic program is just one example of many services supported by United Way, helping our youth on their journey towards financial security and success.
This has been amazing, don't you think? I hope you all enjoyed that tour. While we all still have you here, I would like to invite my colleagues, Moira, Amy, and Janae, to share with you all other ways that you can connect with us and support our group. And remember, please utilize the chat function to ask us any more questions. Okay, to kick things off, Janae, can you share some ways folks can volunteer and support United Way's Black-led social change initiative?
Of course, Annalisa. Thank you so much for teeing this up and for being the host of this tour. So through the Black-led Social Change Initiative, and specifically through Black Empowerment Works, we not only aim to invest in really great Black-led ideas, we also aim to provide supports and resources that can take these ideas to the next level. We're really early in our journey in building out our skill-based volunteer efforts, and we're really excited to pilot what this could look like with a couple of volunteers. So a couple of options that are available if folks are interested in areas where our organizations have lifted up need or desire for support include marketing, especially social media marketing and creating a media plan, youth tutoring across all subjects with folks of different ages, grant writing or sourcing funding opportunities, law or legal support, website design and reviewing websites, finance, as well as nonprofit and business management. If you are interested in participating in serving as a skill-based volunteer in this pilot, please send an email to the address black-led@uwgc.org, and we will respond to you promptly. But volunteering through Black Empowerment Works or Black-led social change is not the only way that you can volunteer to support United Way and our community in doing important work. So I would love to turn it over to my colleague, Amy Weber, to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, thanks, Janae. So as Janae shared, there's a lot of ways to get involved in volunteer efforts, and we try to provide an array of opportunities to make sure that we can really meet the community needs while matching with volunteers' efforts and skills. So if we bring back up the slide deck again, I'll be able to share some of those detailed information. We actually have a whole team here at United Way, the Volunteer Connection team, that helps support these and make matches between volunteers and our community partners. So a couple of the opportunities that we're highlighting right now, which are featured on our website, one is a virtual product drive. You know, as many of you likely are aware of or could assume to be true, is that we're seeing some shortages in essential needs at our community partners around, you know, especially folks that are providing pantry services. A lot of needs, as you know, Moira mentioned early on, with digital divide and students needing access to school supplies at home, as they're not able to access those within school buildings. So we have a supply drive around school supplies, and then healthy snacks. So if you're interested in those, you can go to our website, you fill out a really simple survey form, and we'll share with you a wish list through Amazon where you can purchase items, they get shipped directly to United Way, and then we manage all of the coordination with those community partners to distribute those throughout the community. We're also promoting poll worker opportunities. United Way every year supports nearly, more than 10,000 taxpayers locally in preparing their taxes for free through an IRS certified program called free tax prep. So there's an opportunity to sign up if you have an interest in that. So if you're good with numbers, we'd love to have you. And we're also writing notes of encouragement to older adults. So we know that there are a lot of older folks that are living independently, and right now, as they're staying safe in their homes, they're feeling separated from meaningful people in their lives. So those are just some of the opportunities that are featured. But in addition to that, we manage a full website where our nonprofit organizations can list their needs and you can connect to those. So in the next slide, you'll see that how you can get to that website. It is cincyhelps.org, and you can search through all of those opportunities based on your interests, and you can see the highlighted opportunities that I just shared there as well. So lots of ways to get involved, and we'd love to have you and help support you in finding and making that connection on a volunteer basis.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Janae. That was really great. I appreciate you sharing all of those unique ways that we can volunteer. Again, please utilize the chat. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer anything. To get things kicked off, would one of you be able to share with us how United Way's Black-led social change initiative work is different from previous United Way work?
I'd be happy to answer that question, Annalisa. So with the Black-led social change effort, we're really trying to invest differently in a different group of partners. So we recognize that poverty is a complex problem, and it will take a broad group of people doing really great work to address it. And our traditional mechanisms are really great at bringing in larger organizations to support this work, but we know it's going to take a really broad community effort. So through Black-led social change, we're investing in small grassroots organizations, new ideas, community-based partners, and we think that collective of folks, in addition to our really strong traditional partners, will really help us to propel our work towards decreasing poverty in our community.
Janae, in addition to that, I think it's helpful to let our guests understand that beyond being a grant maker and investing in organizations, we do a lot of work in convening and connecting and really doing outreach to the community. And so I was hoping that Moira could talk a little bit about how you've prioritized community engagement since coming on board.
Sure, Amy, I'd love to. I mean, I think you just said something. I think one of our greatest assets at the United Way is really our ability to convene and bring people together. And if you think about all the wonderful stakeholders that we can bring in as a neutral broker, so to speak. So if you think about the provider community, and when I say that, I mean all providers, non-traditional, traditional, faith-based, and we talk to them. They know what's happening in the community. They can inform us, and programming is so critical, but we know we need to do more than just meet the needs today. And then we take this wonderful information and data, and then we can go really challenge our legislature, whether it's at the state or federal level, even locally, and talk about how can we really break down, change, and disrupt these rules and regulations that continue to hurt our families or keep them in terms of moving forward. And then we bring together wonderful people like you on this bus ride with us, our tour, about through volunteer, donors, advocates policy. I mean, think about this wonderful fabric of people coming together and mobilizing around such an important cause that we have in our community. So I think that is really the benefit of how we can bring folks together, have really tough conversations, but then do a lot of advocacy on behalf of our community.
That's great. Thank you so much, Moira. And I would love to hear from all of you on this, but what does success look like for this program?
That's a great question, Annalisa. So as we were doing this work, it was really important for us to think about success in a creative way. So of course, as we're measuring success, we're looking towards our organizations and idea leaders to say, what would it look like if we did things radically well? So traditional outcomes such as children being prepared for kindergarten or adults receiving important wealth building education. But there are also success measures for us at United Way about what are we learning from this experience working with these 29 grantees that'll help inform the way that we do grant making and partnership in our traditional work? It's about how do we engage community members in a new and different way and provide space for voice and for elevating their great ideas and their expertise. So it's a mix of traditional outcomes-based successes as well as process measures for us here at United Way.
That's great. Thank you so much, Janae. I see Amy said too, if you have any other questions, feel free to share these questions here or raise your hands. What successes have already happened that you're already excited about? Or can you share us any wins from this program that you are excited to share about?
Of course. So when we launched, we made our first grant investments in June. So as you know, it was smack dab at the height of COVID. And so that was a challenge to initially start, but we were really excited and continue to be excited about the tremendous results that we're seeing from our organizations that we invest in, such as our folks at High Achievers Aim High. So they ran their first program with the youth, and already a couple have received employment or gained employment at their host locations. And a couple of these youth have also started to implement their ideas, which is always great. So we have more youth trained in entrepreneurship. One of our grantees, Empire Consulting, has started their tour, their Establishing Generational Wealth tour, and has already connected with over 20 folks and giving them or providing them with the tools to save and invest in a way that will build towards the future. Among several other sorts of successes, we are always excited by organizations being able to purchase the supplies and the tools that they need for their programs to thrive, such as tractors and other farming tools for organizations like AgriAcademy, as well as tablets and other supplies for some of our other partners. Our organizations have also made some really cool adjustments in light of COVID. So Ladies of Leadership, that traditionally runs a mentorship program, has shifted to offering, being a host site for students as they do school remotely. So they pivoted in recognizing a need in the community and have really supported a great mix of students in achieving more educational success. So while we're only a couple of months in, we're really encouraged by what we're seeing already.
Most definitely. It sounds like you're totally right. Just a few months in and you have so many successes and wins that are so great, especially in what we have gone through this past year. So thank you for sharing those. Okay, round robin for you all. As we all know, our motto here is United is the Way. What does that all mean to each one of you? Moira, do you want to start?
Sure, Lisa. I think it's, together and united, we can solve and really convene around really difficult problems. And I think collectively, that just means a lot to this community.
That's great. Amy?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think it's amazing to be able to really capitalize and elevate and accelerate community change by making sure that we are tapping into the expertise and the diversity of all of our community members and residents across our region. And if you think about our tri-state, we look so different depending on where you are. Any 10 minutes you can drive is a different community and a different neighborhood. Definitely. And I think that that's really unique about the greater Cincinnati area. And so, if we want to make sure that our community is the best community that we can create and really provide a region where everyone has the opportunity to thrive in equal ways, we can't do it without working together and bringing all of our strengths to the table.
And Janae, last but certainly not least.
Of course. So when I think about the phrase "united is the way to help," I think about two other phrases that are common refrains in my life. So one being "lift as we climb" and "nothing about us without us." So we're bringing groups of folks together and recognizing that lots of folks, no matter who you are, you have some form of expertise, whether it's context or content expertise. So we're bringing folks together and collaborating and discussing in ways that are really going to be powerful for our community. And on the Lift as we climb side, it's recognizing that we've had people in our lives that have helped us to get to the level of success that we've achieved, and we can now be that for other folks, and other folks can be that for us. So that's what that means to me.
That's great. I have to put those on a Post-it and put them in my cubicle. That's great, Janae. Thank you. I did just see a question come here from Kevin Williams. Kevin says the digital divide in some areas is a barrier. I have a relative that's a teacher. The kids have free laptops and Wi-Fi. Only 20 of 300 students logged into virtual learning. How can we how can we get families to utilize all available resources?
I can jump in to share a little bit.
Thanks,
As
Amy.
Janae was sharing, a lot of our community partners and nonprofits that have traditionally worked with connected with schools and worked with school-age kids in school buildings are doing that outreach. So, many of our community partners that have strong relationships with school districts are helping to support community outreach. They're tapping into the families that they've worked with to be an extension of school districts outreach. We know that school systems are not traditionally staffed to be able to meet families in this way. So it's just another example of, the importance of working together or working across systems that have not always worked, collaborated. And, we're not there yet, but I think that that's a good example of how we're working to leverage each other's strengths and figure out where those gaps are and work together to find some solutions.
Great. Thank you so much, Amy. And thank you for that question. We really appreciate it. Okay, well, if that is all we have, just a few more things before we wrap up. I hope that you feel inspired by having a better perspective of how United Way brings together a diversity of social service agencies, governments, businesses, and donors like you to tackle all of these ingrained community-wide problems. Please don't forget that you can give now and support our work by texting The Way to 41444. And if you have any more additional questions, you can always reach out to us and we will be happy to get back to you. Please join us on November 18th for our next virtual bus tour. We will cover how United Way invests in early education, touring our Eastern area community, and also visiting an early education center. I can promise you, you do not want to miss it. It has been a pleasure for me to be your tour guide today. Thank you to all of my amazing panelists, Moira, Amy, Janae. Thank you. Again, please feel free to reach out to us. We will be sending this video along with us. And please share what you learned today with your friends and families. This opportunity was an opportunity for us to connect together and teach more people about our work, new friends, and we hope that you do the same and share. Please, as you're getting off the bus, watch your steps. Remember to wash your hands as soon as you come off the bus, and have a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for being here. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much.